Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Leo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, I have 3 links in my About section on my YouTube page, to my TikTok, to my official Instagram, and also to my Buy Me a Coffee services and donations page. And I thank you so much in advance. So Leo, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The What We've Forgotten Oracle deck and the Tarot of the Abyss for your tarot reading. So cards have been pre-shuffled. Energy has been cleared with Palo Santo. So this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angel, Spirits, Guides, what messages do you have for Leo? So you got 3 cards. I'm going to take all 3 of them. Cancer got 4 cards, which was pretty outrageous, but it ended up being a really nice story that unfolded, and I think the same will be for you. So the first card is number 60, Water, which is funny because Cancer got air. So the signs kind of getting things that are their complement, opposite of fire. But you're not completely absent from this image. As you can see in the middle here, that very bright light within the gazebo. It's almost like a, further back, it looks like a lantern, doesn't it? Number 60 reduces to a 6, which is the Lover's energy, the major arcana, Gemini, talking about a choice point, being at a choice point. Perhaps this is this indication to you that some connection with your heart space is required, this integration between your fiery aspects and your emotions. I do want to point out, however, that the water in this image is very calm. Spirit is highlighting the fact that it's very calm, it's very quiet, it's very serene. It's almost like silent, that if you didn't know this magical place was there in the swamp or the woods or wherever this is, you wouldn't have any indication. It's only when you approach it more closely that you can see how radiant the light is. There's something to that. There's like a subtlety that Spirit wants to evoke. Almost as if you're self-reflecting, which I think Leos are, the Leos I know are pretty good at. If you're self-reflecting, looking at the things that excite you, looking at the things that trigger you, Spirit is asking you to look at the subtleties of your emotions. Kind of focus on a situation that might have happened in your recent past that perhaps triggered you or caused you to pause or caused you to think. Really dig deep. There could be something that someone said or did that in all other instances may have flown under the radar. Maybe to other people they wouldn't have even noticed it. But there's something in your instinct, there's something in your spidey senses that was like ding, ding, ding. And maybe you haven't had the chance to really consider it. And so Spirit is asking you to consider it. How did that little flag, whether red or not red, how did it make you, how did it make you feel? It's almost like it's been lingering and you haven't even realized that it was lingering. It could be, when somebody makes an offhanded comment or a backhanded compliment in the moment. And if we're pretty strong-willed and confident people, we might brush it off. It's like, oh, whatever. But it could have gotten under your skin somehow. and you never really highlighted it. And Spirit is saying we're going to shine a light on that because it's indicative of something deeper. So that's number 60, water. Number 36, which reduces to 9, the Hermit card, prophet. Prophet. So this reminds me, this kind of necklace, brooch, whatever that is, reminds me of a couple things. Some kind of country's aristocracy. You might have aristocratic roots. You could have starseed aristocratic roots. You could come from a family, a royal family within starseeds. I don't think I've ever said that in a reading before. Maybe. No, I don't think I ever have. So Spirit wants me to say that. But it also reminds me, and I don't know why, but it reminds me of like Freemasonry. So again, even within Freemasonry, that's a kind of its own regality, its own hierarchy, its own order. Spirit just said Order of the Phoenix, which is funny because my sister, I'm a big Harry Potter fan because, like, who isn't? But I know that it's problematic, but it is what it is. And my copy of Order of the Phoenix is scratched. And so yesterday my sister said, do you still need a copy of Order of the Phoenix? And I was like, yeah, because I really want to watch that again. It's this, if you've never seen it or you've read the books, that installment of Harry Potter talks about this group of people on the fringes, right? They were a part of society, and then society flipped around, whereas dark forces they started to overtake things. So the forces of good became relegated to the fringes, with all of this kind of power behind them, but they had to be scrappy about it. And there's something to this, right? There's something where, I mean, Leos are very good at being scrappy and willful. Spirit just said willful. But there's something to you at this time where your sense of prophecy, your sense of your psychic senses, your intuitive senses are being really heightened, which perhaps is why Spirit is asking you to do emotionally based exercises, right? Let's develop. We've mastered the art of fire, our passion centers. Now we would like you to develop your emotional center, your intuitive center. I hear emergency response vehicles. That's a fire truck horn. So Spirit is really wanting to focus you on that message, or that they're trying specifically to have you hone in and develop and craft your emotional body, your emotional language. It's good to have balance between these things because it's going to help you in expressing perhaps some of the visions that you've been downloading, right? What that has to do with being on the fringes? Well, sometimes what prophets have to say is not popular. I'm just going to leave it at that. Number 10 is the last card. 10 references the Wheel of Fortune in the Major Arcana, Jupiterian energy, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, good luck, good fortune, and power. And the word is medicine, with this beautiful blue vial. Immediately I'm reminded of sapphires. So sapphire could be a crystal, a gem that you're working with. I actually have a tiny piece of sapphire, raw sapphire here. Okay. What month is Sapphire? I don't know. The Spirit's not giving it to me. Is it November? I don't know. But there's something to sapphires now. There's something to it because Spirit honked the horn. Maybe they want you to work with this gem. Maybe they want you to wear this color, wear this jewelry that has sapphire in it if you can afford that. This is what I could afford. This little tiny, I think this little tiny piece was $10. I'm going to put it on the table for your reading. Spirit wants to highlight it. Could be something having to do with the color blue, the throat chakra, the expression of the prophecy, right? There's something to it. There's a Leo out there that has a really important message from Spirit that they need to express. Maybe they need to express it publicly, or maybe they need to express it to a loved one. I don't know. The closer that you are to your own sense of self, the better it will be for you to communicate the message. Why? Because when we're channeling, depends. I mean, it depends on who you are, but sometimes when I'm channeling, it's almost like I'm present, I'm here, I have my own thoughts and feelings and emotions, but as I channel, I just allow Spirit to jive with it, right? I allow Spirit to just say what they want to say. And then it, I will be like, oh, that's interesting. Because it was not a thought in my head until it became something to express. And so that could be it for you. Where in the stillness, you can see the light. You can hear the message. Medicine. Right? An elixir, a tonic, a healer, the healer. Something that you're prophesizing will be a great healing force for somebody around you. Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future. Wow, that was fast. And then at the end, I will pull advice from Spirit. Oh, your cards really want to jump out. That's it. Okay. Okay. Really. 6 cards on the table right now. 4 of them major arcana, 1 ace, and 1 10. Yeah. What does all that gibberish that I just said mean? It means your spirit guides are like ready, raring to go, ready to speak to you, need you to listen. It's important. The past energy, number 7 of the major arcana, the Chariot, Cancer energy. When I say major arcana, I'm talking about the first 22 cards of the tarot, of a typical tarot deck, which talk about the archetypes of human experience. So they're very strong energies. Major arcana equals strong energy, equals divinely guided. Your spirit guides have a hand in what's going on right now. As opposed to the minor arcana of the tarot, the rest of the cards of a 78 card deck, the everyday interactions that you and I have with the world. So both powerful, just in different ways. But when major arcana shows up, it's like things are kind of at like mission critical. The Chariot card talks about victory. This is your past energy. Rising above the fray, Spirit just said. Rising above the fray. The Chariot card typically talks about a mastery over the shadow and the light aspects of who we are. We all have shadow, and the more comfortable we are with it, the better. Because we know then when it's cropping up or creeping in on us. You don't ever want your shadow to overtake you. But it's good to understand how your shadow works so that you can work with it. Right? The dark energies within you, the ones that create fear or doubt or hesitation. Also, the ones that ask the probing questions, the dark questions. What happens after we die? What is the spirit? What is the divine? Right? These questions linger in the spirit world. And every once in a while we can approach them, as you are now with this Prophet card. So I see a great triumph in your past energy, where you are standing very strong, rising above the fray. Number 5 of the major arcana, to clarify that, the wise one, otherwise known as the Hierophant card, which is typically known as the Pope of the Tarot. So it's kind of like this human stand-in for spirit. A pope, a pastor, a priest, a rabbi, an imam, a nun, a spiritual leader, a life coach, somebody really, really, really connected, that you are turning to for guidance. It could also not be a person, but it could be like a sacred text. And this is clarifying the Chariot. So there was something here. I think somebody inspired you. We can't, I mean, it's great if we're our own source of inspiration, right? But there are always people that we should be grateful to for inspiring us to be the best version of ourselves. And so I almost see this energy here in the Hierophant as somebody who really catapulted you, really helped you with your incline. You can see here it's almost like a shamanistic figure gathering around that light source. Gathering around that light source. Some of you could be scrying into fire, into candle energy. You could look into the flame and just kind of put yourself in a trance state and receive messages that way. This is very, very, I feel as though your reading is very heavily spirit-based as opposed to material world-based. Like, I don't see us talking about jobs and kids, and I don't see, you know, which is fine. Those things are fine, but I don't see that in this reading for you today, which might be kind of a change of pace. I feel as though you are shifting. Okay, Spirit just says shifting timelines, but shifting consciousness, your levels of consciousness. You're up-leveling, right? That like incline. Let's get a clarifier for these 2 cards in the past energy for Leo. You're asking the bigger questions and you're getting bigger results because of it. Because you're brave, you're being brave in asking the bigger questions. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, messages. See, it's interesting though, because I said, okay, I see these as very like spiritual energies, and now Spirit said, well, not entirely. It's clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, very earth-bound energy. The Knights of the Tarot, there's court cards in every suit. So there are 4 suits of the Tarot: Pentacles, Wands, Cups, and Swords. Pentacles represents earth energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I almost said Aquarius, which is air energy, but you could be dealing with an Aquarius or have Aquarius in your chart. But that is air energy. This energy is rooted in the material world, and it's somebody approaching you with an offer, a good offer, authentic, based in something authentic, something you can trust. You know, it's almost like when we align our higher self with our soul space, our soul space within our bodies, with our higher self soul space within the 5D, right? When we align ourselves with our innermost consciousness, then the things in the outer world become manifest. That's what manifestation is. It's this sense of like what's going on in the brain heart coherence. When those two things come together, then it becomes manifest in the real world. So it's almost as if you are having this, you know, great epiphanies and revelations. I do see somebody engaging in some kind of ayahuasca, some kind of using some kind of substance to channel, which I have never done. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I know a lot of people that have done it and have had terrible experiences or earth-shattering, life-changing experiences. But I see somebody doing that. But whatever it is, however you approached spirit and that incline, that upward incline, you're up-leveling yourself. And because you're up-leveling your consciousness, because you're becoming closer and closer and closer to your soul space, then what happens in the real world starts to match. And so something in your past energy that was really nice started to come in for you. What was it though? I have to ask another question. What was it? What came in for you? Look. The Lovers. Number 6 in the major arcana. Gemini energy. See, 60 and 6 showed up twice now. This could have to do with a divine partner, a divine counterpart, a twin flame. It's really beautiful. So what's interesting about this card though, for a Lover's card, it looks pretty desolate, doesn't it? It's kind of telling me that in the material world, that the material world manifestation and the energetic manifestation look totally different. But I would challenge you, you think that this looks desolate and bare and dead. But I would challenge you to look again, because it's anything but. We can see the vitality of the roots, the strength behind it, the will of these two trees to kind of join together. It's like against all odds, the lovers are still fighting for each other. This can also talk about a choice point with the lovers, being at a crucial choice point. So Spirit is tunneling my ear right now, so your spirit guides are coming in. This person could have been your divine counterpart coming towards you with some offer. It's authentic. It's very authentic. This is really beautiful energy. It's fraught though, because of the cards that are in your future potential. I feel as though it's not happy-go-lucky for you. It's not cut and dry. It's really beautiful energetically. It's really beautiful spiritually. But in the material world, it could feel fraught, especially because of this depiction. And what's happening next? Number 11 in the major arcana, the Justice card, Libra energy in reverse. You can see here in the eye here, she has the scales of justice. The Justice card talks about karma and karmic balance and things needing to... Okay, Spirit just said, well, They said it and then they took it out of my head, but it had to do with a vacuum, not a vacuum cleaner, but like the vacuum of space and time. Like nothing. What is the scientific expression for it? Nothing exists in a vacuum, or it's like a vacuum needs to be filled. I don't know why Spirit wants me to say any of that. Maybe it resonates with you. Maybe you're vacuuming. I don't know. I often vacuum and listen to tarot. Suggests the cleaning up. Spirit could be cleaning up your karma right now because the Justice card is in the reverse. I see a orange caution cone across the street in a very peculiar place, and so now they're saying, okay, there's caution. It's this sense that you're still serving out some karmic ties, some karmic debt, and there could be a situation here that in the present energy that doesn't seem very fair to you, and perhaps it's not fair, but they're asking you to really listen, and instead of looking at it as a kind of punishment energy, what if you could change your perspective and look at it as a kind of medicine for your soul? Because it's a lesson, right? That karma is always a lesson for us. So I said this story in, I don't know, the Pisces reading maybe. The other day, 2 days ago, I was having a moment, and it's during the work day, and I just needed to step outside. I was completely deflated, and I shouldn't have been, like, silly. Our ego makes us act real silly sometimes, but I was in my ego and so deflated and so disheartened that I had to take a walk. And while I was on that walk, I just wanted to be gone I just wanted to walk around the block, like 10 minutes. I just wanted to walk around the block. And during that 10 minutes, I got interrupted. Like, I got text messages and stuff, and I just was really annoyed. Came back to work, went about my business. Like 5 minutes after getting back, I had to go into the elevator because I had to deliver something. And I got stuck in the elevator. And I've never gotten stuck. I might have gotten stuck in an elevator for maybe 10 seconds, but I was stuck in the elevator. I didn't have my cell phone, and I happened to have a crystal in my hand, shockingly. A lodolite, a grounding crystal that I was going to give to someone. This is all true. So I'm standing in this elevator, and like people are on the other side of the door because I rang the bell because I didn't have my phone, and they're like, "Are you okay in there?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm okay. Just please get security. Please get somebody to help me get out of this elevator." I was getting hot and a little freaked out, but it was okay. And I just had to kind of sit there for a second. It was about 10 minutes, and I got out of the elevator, and when I got back to my department, one of the guys that works for me said, "Well, honey, you got your 10 minutes to yourself." Spirit had given me my 10 minutes completely to myself, where no one could bother me, no one could ask me anything, no one could make demands, and I just had to sit there with myself. And it was a lesson, a very humbling lesson. The fact that my coworker pointed that out to me, I was like, humbled, right? And sometimes we need a little humbling, and that's what Spirit is showing you right now. Always for your best and highest good. But you're still working through the lesson. Ace of Wands to clarify it. A new beginning. It's beautiful, right? You learn your lesson. Learn it with humility. Learn it with grace and integrity, and you shall be rewarded. Ace of Wands, all the aces bring new energy and new possibility from Spirit. This is your suit, this fire suit. A new beginning, a new passionate beginning. Right? The Phoenix by your side. Aha! Thank you, Spirit. Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix. Rising above. Spirit showing me that you're going to need that push, because the future potential as it stands now, and remember, you have free will. You go out and you make different decisions, you get different outcomes. Future potential, 10 of Swords, clarified by number 15 of the Major Arcana, the Devil. The Devil keeps the lovers trapped and bound. It's kind of his thing. The lover's energy trapped and bound. The idea of choice and not having choices, right? It's an illusion. We always have choices, no matter how dire the situation is, and we can be in some pretty dire, desperate, low situations in our life. We can make choices. And that's also a very humbling lesson to learn. In your future potential, 10 of Swords, we're on the ground. It's backstabbing, betrayal, disappointment to the utmost. But it's in the upright, which tells me, right, 10, 10. It tells me that this too shall pass. We're going to go back to the Ace of Swords, which is all about epiphany. We're moving through this energy. But what is fueling this energy in the first place? It's Devil, right? Codependency, addiction, workaholism, fear, doubt, a lack of self-confidence, reckless impulsivity is what Spirit just said. Reckless impulsivity. Overspending, Spirit just said. We've all been there. We all go, as part of the Major Arcana, we run the whole gamut as a human being of the Major Arcana. By the time we reach the Devil, it's like things have gotten to our head a little bit. And we get all tied up and tangled with it. And then a great tower moment has to come. Shake things up. Shake up the system. Your future potential shows you kind of... I just heard heave ho, heave ho. It's like one last push. Heave ho. One last push and pull before the breakthrough. Can I get a clarifier for that? 7 of Pentacles in reverse. No longer investing in things that don't yield any result. You're recognizing what has not served you. You're recognizing where you have perhaps misplaced some of your energy. Redirect it now. You're redirecting it now, and it's your choice to redirect it. What is the advice from Spirit? King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Death. Beautiful. This is the advice from Spirit. It's almost like Spirit is saying with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we're not going to start anything new at this time related to our material world. We have a lot we have to work through. So it's almost like don't jumpstart 10 different projects until you've closed out some projects, closed out some cycles, closed out some relationships, right? take care of that business first. Remain in your power as the King of Pentacles. By the time we reach the King of the Suits, there's a mastery. The Death card. Number 13 of the Major Arcana, Scorpio energy. The Death card talks about death and rebirth, transformation, the phoenix rising from the ashes. We need a little destruction to foster new growth. So that's your reading, Leo. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Leo.